Hello, I'm reviewing a somewhat new beer from Genesee. It's their Ruby Red Kolsch. They've done this for a couple of years now as their summer seasonal. And Genesee is kind of a weird brewery. They're independent, been around for a long time. They're famous for their cream ale, which is not bad, and especially because it's like at dirt cheap prices. Their regular Genesee beer and light are pretty bad. But they also do these seasonals that are kind of like old-fashioned craft. And also they're kind of like old-fashioned craft quality. Their Oktoberfest is not bad. Their Bock, Spring Bock is very nice too. And usually you can get a 12-pack of these for around $10, which is a good deal. So this one is 4.5%. They call it a Kolsch, but of course a Kolsch doesn't have natural pink and red grapefruit flavors. I guess they say a Kolsch style blonde ale here in the small print, because technically Kolsch's have to come from Cologne or Kuhn. That's why you call it a Kolsch. But let's just drink it. Usually I would avoid this style, but since it's cheap and I don't know, I just felt like I was in the mood for something like this. A lot of people really like it. It has not bad ratings at all. And it pours, actually, there's a pretty good haze to it. The head is very fizzy, you might even hear that. But you can see it's going to die down, probably like cola. It just has flavor, but I wonder if there is a little bit of tartness actually, because it looks like a head on a sour beer, honestly. Woo, that smells like Fresca. Yeah, very, very big on the grapefruit. I'm not getting any of the classic bready, slightly estery, slightly hoppy notes from a Kolsch. They really should have just called this Ruby Blonde Ale or something like that. I guess maybe it's cleaner because maybe they lager it. Traditionally, Kolsch's are top fermented beers, ales, and then they're lagered like lagers at low temperatures, conditioned, with the yeast to reduce some of the flavors, have the yeast absorb a lot of the chemical compounds that were created during the fermentation, and make it finish a little bit cleaner and crisper like a lager. This one actually almost has a pink tinge to it, maybe, I don't know. But they do not say they use actual fruit. It just says natural flavors, but that also can mean real stuff too, because just putting a little bit of grapefruit juice in there, that juice is a natural flavor. I'm pretty sure I've seen it written like that. I mean, it smells pretty darn good though. Ooh. Actually, not as grapefruity in the flavor. I'm kind of happy about that because I don't want it to actually just taste like soda. There is some beer flavor. There's some definite maltiness. Yeah, and the grapefruits are covering up the hops quite a bit, but it's bright. It's maybe a very, 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 very lightly tart. And then that grapefruit flavoring, I feel like, is amping up the bitterness a bit. Because there's definitely hop bitterness. It seems like they make a pretty traditional Kolsch, and then add the flavorings and maybe an actual hint of juice or something like that. That's what could also make this hazy, because I've never seen any beer this hazy from Genesee. Wow, surprisingly bitter in the finish. It's almost astringent. Has a little bit of body, but finishes very dry. Yeah, they could have almost gotten away with calling this a shandy. I feel like, no, it's definitely very far off from summer shandy from Leinenkugel, because that's like their boring sweet beer with a bunch of lemon flavoring added to it. This is not like that, but it's a similar idea maybe, but I like how this is pretty darn dry. That's really nice. It does seem like you just added some grapefruit to to a Kolsch, and that's not bad. Some grapefruit juice. I'm getting used to the bitterness and the dryness. It's definitely not as astringent as actually drinking grapefruit, because that's an intense experience. Will I buy it again? We'll see, maybe this summer if I'm in the mood again. It's definitely something you could drink a lot of on a really hot day. It would be quite perfect for a hot day where you just want some kind of fruity beer, but you don't want to spend a lot of money on it. This is actually like cheaper than Bud Light Lime, and it's definitely better, but it's got a bite to it that I was not expecting from Genesee. I'm trying to figure out if I like it. I like how it's not as overwhelming grapefruit in the flavor, that it has beer flavor, or if I want that. It is definitely building up. It's definitely getting more grapefruity in the taste than the aroma. Because the aroma just smells like an actual carton of grapefruit juice. This is probably a 3.75. I wish the head were a little better, but I think that just comes from the fact that it has, you know, what seems like a real fruitiness. Or maybe they just add some like acid malt, acidulated malt and stuff like that to make it seem like it has actual juice in it. That could be what's happening here. That's what Old Nation does with their tart strawberry M43. And I don't like that one, but I like this. So yeah, 3.66 repeating. Bye.